Hey everybody, it's TheRooster here, bringing you some SOCOM 4 gameplay. We have some suppression on the map Von Heine Express. Now if you are unfamiliar with this game, Von Heine Express is a gigantic map. It's very reminiscent of a battlefield map. It's not going to expand on you as you play, but if you want to run from spawn to spawn, it's going to take quite a bit of time. I tend to, at the beginning of my matches, pick my spawn, either spawn 1 or spawn 2, just to ensure that, I get to run the route that I prefer. On this side of the map, on Insurgents side, I tend to like the left side. I'll run over here to the left, kind of come up this hill and check out the road and try and go for first blood. I'm always going for first blood. A lot of people that want to get first blood on this map will run right straight down the middle, but if you're not sniping, you're really at a disadvantage because there will be a lot of snipers looking straight down that middle bridge. It's very hard. You almost never want to cross that bridge. I mean, it's easy to, pick people off as they run by if you're down in the trenches, but in terms of trying to cross it, it's just, instant death, basically. You always want to take one of the sides, or crossing right below the main bridge is always a good idea. There's a little walkway right below. I'll take that quite often, but you never want to go across the top of that bridge. Now, that's the thing about when you die when you're on one of these back spawns is, you're going to have some walking to do. In this situation, I knew there was someone, approaching our spawn. So I always try and like to clear out any spawn campers that are in my spawn. I don't leave them there. If you see a spawn camper, it's your responsibility to take them out. Don't let your teammate spawn, hop down, and get shot in the back. It's not helping the team. It's just free kills for the other team. Now, like this situation right here, I see this guy. He has cover. I don't have much to shoot at. I'm not comfortable really approaching him. So I, mix it up a little, come over the hill. Don't be afraid to, go a different route if you don't feel like the way you're going to come at somebody is going to work. If they know you're coming that way, you don't have to hop out and go that way. There's no reason to give anybody a free kill in this game. Make them work for it. Now over here, I have a little sloppy shooting. Get one kill, but I probably could have cleaned that up a little bit easier if I had just, paid a little bit more attention. Now, I'm in some gas right now that's taking my health down, blurring my screen. Do not hang out in that gas, especially if you've been shot, because while it just usually just hinders you, it'll, make it hard for you to see. If you are hurt, I mean, it can kill you pretty quick, so it's best to just get out of there if you can. Now right here, I mean, there's a bunch of people. Your frontline spawn is usually right there where I just died on this side. So a lot of times the enemy likes to run up and camp that area. You have some spawn invincibility when you spawn, but it's just easy for them to come through and wipe out quite a few people if they're standing around that area. That's part of the reason, like I said, I prefer these, spawn 1 and spawn 2 back spawns. Now, this is a really fun map if you like to use both your assault rifle and your SMG, because you will get a lot of opportunities to switch between the two. Like right here, I had my assault rifle out. A guy starts to shoot me. Rather than fire at him with the assault rifle, which I could have done, I decided to switch to my SMG and still had time to take him out, because that SMG is way more consistent at that kind of range. There's a lot of times when you try and hip fire your assault rifle up close and a lot of it will miss. I mean, if you have the opportunity to use your SMG up close, you always want to take it, assuming you're carrying an SMG with you. Now, as opposed to how I fire my weapons, I almost always carry an assault rifle and an SMG. When I have my SMG out, I almost always hip fire, only if they're a little ways away and I still have my SMG out while I even bring up the over-the-shoulder aim. But hip fire is fantastic with SMGs, and you can aim for the head if you want, but a lot of times it's better just put the circle of in their body and just start spraying, and it usually it's easy to spray and take someone down with an SMG. With an assault rifle, I do not recommend spraying ever. I always pretty much go in the over-the-shoulder camera, and you don't have a center dot right now. I mean, Zipper is going to be patching this game and adding a center dot in as an option, which, to be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm going to take. kind of like the game as it is right now. A lot of people complain about the shooting, but once you get used to it, it feels pretty comfortable. You know, I was pretty mad during the beta that there wasn't a center dot, but you know, once I became comfortable with the controls and comfortable with the game mechanics, that really wasn't an issue anymore. So we'll see, you know, how it feels whenever the game is patched and that's added in, and I'll make my decision then. But when I'm firing my assault rifle, I almost always fire in bursts. Only if they're right in my face will I really hold the trigger down. The first couple shots, especially with an assault rifle, are 100% accurate. Wherever you have your reticule, I mean, yes, you don't have a center dot, but you have, you know, top, bottom, left, and right hash marks. Just imagine that those are, you know, drawn across into a plus sign, and you're going to know exactly where your bullets are going to go every time when you first start to shoot. It's kind of like Halo Reach with the reticule bloom. You know, the more you fire and the more you hold your gun down, the more your recoil is going to bloom out. So you always want to let, if you miss, like if you're trying to snipe someone across the map with your assault rifle and you take a shot at them and it misses, you don't have to hold the trigger down right there. You know, just wait a second, let it go back to you know, full resting bloom, then take your shots again, and you're going to be much more likely to hit that second shot than if you had just continued to hold your, you know, button down, firing wildly. So, you know, don't be afraid to just stop for a second, you know, line your sight back up, let your bloom come back down, and then take your next shot. It's quite handy, and it's very, very easy to get headshots in this game with an assault rifle. So you always, especially at range, you always want to line up for that head. You know, you have a 1 bullet headshot. Why would you want to, you know, put 6 bullets into their body when you can just put 1 into their face? I mean, plus that sound that it makes, that squishing, popping sound, is, to me, very addictive. It's very, very rewarding and satisfying when you hear that sound. You're like, I did good, and I want to shoot more people in the face. Now, right there, I also, you know, got a suppression strike, wasn't able to call it in, died first. Now that tends to anger a lot of people in this game that don't do so well so often. You know, they work really hard, they get excited when they get their airstrike, and then they die before they get to call it in, and it's not available to you when you respawn. Now, a lot of people want it to, you know, when you come back, when you respawn, to have that option to call it in again. I've kind of reached a point where I'm kind of glad that's not even an option, because the airstrike, to me, while it's fun, it's really not worth it if you're trying to have a good game. Because, I mean, if you look at my stats, I'm way up there on the leaderboards for airstrikes called in, but I actually have a lot less kills with airstrikes than airstrikes called in, so I usually don't even get 1 kill with it. I mean, a lot of them you'll call in, you don't get a single kill. Every now and then you'll call in 1 and get 4, and, you know, it's worth it. But for the most part, it tends to get you killed because it's very hard to call in. It takes a long time for the bar to load up. It's very dangerous if you want to lay it down in an area where there's a lot of enemies, because you have to physically look, stand out in the open and look at the area you want to airstrike, which if there's enemies over there, they're not going to just let you stand there, they're going to shoot you. So it's very easy to die. There's a lot of times where, like I said, I'll get 4 airstrikes in a row maybe and die before I call in a single one. It just happens. I've kind of, like I said, reached a point that maybe it's better off for me if I'm just wanting to have a good game not to call in that airstrike. But part of me just says I need, you know, planes to fly by and destroy the other team. It's something in me that I'm like, I did that to you and now you're dead. So I'll probably, I'm sure, still keep calling those in, but man, like I said, I'm kind of glad that I don't respawn with it, because I think I would just be on a constant death loop trying to call those in. Maybe get an airstrike that gets no kills, but I died 5 times calling it in. That's not for me. But one thing that I want to talk about real quick with the last minute or so of this gameplay is this is my second video. I posted my first video. It was another respawn game on Bailout. And it seemed to get pretty good responses from most of the people that watched the video, that commented on things like my commentary, on my gameplay, you know, my tips, my strategy, things of that nature. It seemed to get pretty good responses all around the board. But there seems to be a lot of reaction to someone who posts a respawn gameplay, because obviously SOCOM is, you know, it's a no respawn game at its core, like at its history. So there's a lot of people that are very angry in the way that Zipper took the direction of this franchise and took the direction of SOCOM 4 and really made Classic feel like an afterthought at some points. I mean, there's a lot of angry people that feel that Zipper is ruining SOCOM, and they tend to be more vocal than some of the people that, you know, enjoy the game. They're very vocal on the forums. Well, that's fine. It's just, it's not going to change the game. I mean, if you don't like this game the way it is, then I don't know what to tell you other than don't play it, because it's not going to change. This is what SOCOM is now. There's a lot of people that would have liked it to be a lot different than the way it ended up, but this is how it is. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but just don't play the game. I mean, disliking someone's video or something of that nature, or you know, trolling it with comments or things of that nature aren't going to help anything. They're not going to bring SOCOM 2 back. It's not going to make you love the game. If people enjoy the game like I do, just let us enjoy it. I mean, it's not hurting you at all for us to enjoy the game. So that's all I really wanted to say there. And if you liked it, please, you know, leave a comment, rate, you know, give me that thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, give me that thumbs down. But just make sure that thumbs down is for the video and not for the game mode. Again, like I said, if you liked it, subscribe. I got more on the way. I'll be posting some Call of Duty videos soon. As the Uncharted beta rolls around, I'll be posting some Uncharted 2 videos that I have saved. I got a lot coming. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Peace.